What's up, Rockstars? Today I have some huge announcements. The next game from both CMON and Shadowborn games are coming, and they both look exciting and kind of similar. Alright, we're going to start with the one from Shadowborn Games, which if you don't know that company, they made Oathsworn. They are definitely on the hotness right now when it comes to the crowdfunding space, and everybody's excited to see their next thing. Their next thing is actually titled Project Mist. That's not that's like the code name, right? So in development. I will be taking a look at it a little earlier, trying to give some feedback, stuff like that. So I will tell you guys everything I possibly can. Anything they'll allow me to say, I'll let you guys know. So stay tuned for an update on that. This is the first image we've got. So it says, New Legend is Rising 2024. From the creator of Oathsworn, an Arthurian area control game like no other. So very interesting things. First of all, 2024. Okay. So it's probably Q1 2024 would be my guess. Which is kind of an interesting time point because I think Oathsworn, one of the things that did really well was launch, I believe, towards the end of 2019. Q4 is normally a really hot season for crowdfunding. So I don't know if they'll do the Q1. If so, they'll probably be the biggest name there. It's kind of a very slow part of the crowdfunding space. A lot of people have just spent a lot of money on like Christmas and all that kind of stuff. So after the holiday season, it's a little weird. So maybe that's prime real estate for them to be able to kind of plant their game and be like, here you go. Maybe it'll be a little bit later. Don't know. Again, we'll let you know. Stay subscribed, by the way, because like I said, I will be getting some early time with this game, and I will definitely try and share what I can with you. Even if it's just a first impressions without explaining too much, I'll let you know. So stay tuned for that. The other interesting thing, first of all, Arthurian, I love it. It's why I liked Avalonia so much, one of those things. Ever since I read the Excalibur alternative by David Weber, like a long time ago, as a teen, I really enjoyed that story, and it made me start looking into like alternative Arthurian things, and then there was like a B5 episode about it and stuff like that. I really like the idea of King Arthur, but then like putting twists on it in different ways. So I'm a huge fan of the IP, definitely invested in that. So curious to see what that is. And it's an area control game, which is obviously something very different from Oathsworn, which is a narrative boss battler, essentially. So interesting to see what they can do with that. But definitely, if anybody can do something good with this area, I think Shadowborn Games is a prime suspect to do it. Now, it also says like no other. What that means, what is the twist, how is it different? I'm not exactly sure. Oathsworn was not necessarily, it was different than other boss battlers, now that it's kind of a genre that a lot of people are doing stuff in. As in, it was probably the farthest removed from Kingdom of the Monsters, kind of spawned the genre more or less, or if nothing else, made it really kind of mainstream enough to be its own genre. But so it didn't have some of that, but it did also still have body parts and stuff like that. There was a lot of similarities. So, it really distinguished itself in its theme, story, stuff like that, and its card gameplay to an extent as well. So what they're doing with the area control game and how is it different? I don't know. But again, I will let you know. All I know is that is a giant freaking sword, and I dig it. It looks like he's maybe on the lake, on a boat, and he's getting the sword, but that ain't no lady. From the lake, at least not any kind I've seen. So it would be interesting to see more about that. Again, it's codenamed Project Mist, so if you hear me talking about it in future news videos, which you can subscribe if you haven't, that is definitely something that I'll be talking about. But that's what I mean. I mean this right here. And again, I'll keep you updated as much as possible. Now, of note, what is super interesting is CMON's doing almost the same thing. So from CMON, they announced Mordred, and Mordred is coming soon to Kickstarter, so probably a lot sooner than 2024. So this will be first. Okay. And you might recognize some of this art, especially one like this one. That's because it is by none other than Adrian Smith, who did the Chronicles of Hate, Blood Rage, Rising Sun, Ankh, all the art for that. He actually, though, came up with the story and everything, the concept of Chronicles of Hate. And it says here, art and concept by Adrian Smith. So definitely interested. I'm a fan of his. He's got a cool little dog that he shares on social media all the time, but he also shows a lot of what he's doing for Hate now and like the third kind of book there and all that kind of stuff. So definitely interested to see what comes from that. All the sculpting has been done by Studio McVeigh, which they've worked with before. And it's a brand new area control game. And of course, it's the Arthurian thing. We'll talk about that in a bit. Designed by Alexio Schneeberger. Designed by Alexio Schneeberger. And if you didn't know who that is, because I didn't either, I went ahead and looked him up on BGG. And he's really done two things. He's done Teen Titans Go, and he's done Cyberpunk 2027, or 2077. So those are kind of his two things that he's done so far. So I don't know what to, I mean, it's kind of a, who knows, right? That's not enough of like a history for me to really be able to comment one way or the other. I don't think either of these has been like a blow up success per se. So it'll be interesting to see how Mordred does, but he's kind of, I think, CMON's in-house kind of game designer right now that's doing a lot of this kind of stuff. So, but it could be a smashing success. We'll see. We'll see. Now it says it brings a new twist to the Arthurian legend. Essentially, Mordred is coming. He's the rightful person or whatever. And it says after the merging of Britain and the Fey realm, I highlighted that because I think that's super interesting. I think that'll be some really cool minis and stuff. I'm excited to see what they look like here. So this is the only art we have right now, though, and then this here, which you can kind of see in the background, maybe some stuff, especially like this right here. Like there's some interesting art coming, so that's for sure. Both mortal and Fey now fight for power. Each player will control one of these asymmetric factions. So it sounds like it's just two factions. Is this a two-player control game? Or can multiple people be within that faction and there's mortal, or it says mortal and Fey. Are there subsets of each? I don't know. We'll find out. They will strive to earn the favor of the three great leaders, Mordred, Morgana, and Merlin. Heck yeah, Merlin. But they must use the rounds available wisely, as each action costs precious time. So it sounds like there's a certain amount of things where like you can do this for this much time or this for this much time. You have this much, like a resource essentially is what it sounds like. And that's because the timeline is going towards the end where chaos is inevitable, as it says. And players must prepare for it. That kind of makes me think a little bit like Blood Rage. I wonder if this is kind of like a Blood Rage new theme. Because if you didn't know in Blood Rage, is eventually, like, hey, we're going to have the 3 rounds and then boom, at Ragnarok and everything's gone. So you kind of know that building up to it. And it was a really good mechanic there because it like limits the play and all sorts of other stuff. So maybe that's the case. The inevitable is very interesting, and talking about time is very interesting. I think those are lead-ins for more. So stay tuned. I will stay tuned for you if you want. You can obviously follow the links down below to either the Facebook page of Shadowborn Games, which is where they announced Project Mist, or CMON's website here where you can sign up to the newsletter, or you can scroll down and click subscribe. I'll keep you informed on both anyway. Of course, I'll tell you everything I can, because at the end of the day, I'm excited for both as well. Again, I love this theme. I think it's awesome, and I'm a fan of kind of the origins of both here now. So very interesting to see that both kind of made the announcement on the same day for an alternative Arthurian legend thing. Tainted Grails is like, whew, thank goodness I was like years early. Anyway, let me know your thoughts. Which one are you more excited about? Which one do you maybe are cautious about, if there's anything like that? We also know more about Mordred than Project Mist, but that might soon change. We'll see. Again, 2024 is a ways out. So anyway, that's it. Just want to let you guys know, and I'll cut off the video right now because I don't need to take up any more of your time. Thank you so much for checking out this video. Again, feel free to subscribe to see much more gaming content coming up. Guys, have a wonderful rest of your day. Take care. Bye, guys.